the opening stanza, the Mangala Sloka, or the Nandi Sloka for the Sivananda Lahari that has been very beautifully explained by Acharya Sankara. So making namaskaram to Acharya Sankara for his wonderful Gnana Dana that he has been doing for generations together, trying to bring in the greatness, power, and importance, and most likely feelings of the gods like Lalita Parameswari, Shiva or Ganapati or anybody in the Hindu pantheon. So Sivananda Lahari is Ananda Lahari, and Ananda is always wave. It will not stop at all. At any count, we have got Ananda to come up, to rise up. Therefore, he has appropriately put the name as Lahari for Ananda or Saundarya or any such kind of happy experiences. Now he makes a prayer for the Ardhanarishwara Swarupa or Shiva and Parvati together, because they are always together and their dampatya is always appreciated constantly by all people. So please repeat. Kalabhyam Chudalankruta
Kalabhyam Chudalankruta
Shashikalabhyam
Sashikalabhyam
Nijatapah Phalabhyam
Nijatapah Palabhyam
Bhakteshu Prakatita Phalabhyam
Bhakteshu Prakatita Palabhyam
Bhavatu Me
Bhavatu Me
Sivabhyamastoka
Sivabhyamastoka
Tribhuvana Sivabhyam
Tribhuvana Sivabhyam
Rudhi Punaha
Rudhi Punaha
Bhavabhyam
Bhavabhyam
Astoka Tribhuvana Sivabhyam
Astoka Tribhuvana Sivabhyam
Rudhi Punaha
Hrudi Punaha
Bhavabhyam Anandaspurato
Bhavabhyam Anandaspuratu
Anubhavabhyam Natiriyam
Anubhavabhyam Natiriyam
Anubhavabhyam Natiriyam.
Anubhavabhyam Natiriyam.
So we have been trying to know the importance and the mahima and the personality features and the apara karuna, daya of God Shiva and of course Parvati too. So Shankaracharya is talking or making us to talk to Lord Shiva and ask him to show daya upon us. So now we have to go with the 20th stanza further. Now let us recite the 20th. Sada mohatavyam charati
Sada mohatavyam charati Sada mohatavyam charati
Yuvatinam kuchagirau
Yuvatinam kuchagirau Yuvatinam kuchagirau
Natatyasa shakha
Natatyasa sakhas Natatyasa sakhas
Sphatita jhatiti svairamabhita
Patati jhatita svairam abhitaha Spatita jhatiti smairam abhitaha
Kapalin bhiksho
Kapalin bhiksho Kapalin bhiksho
Hrudaya me hrudaya
Me hrudaya Me hrudaya
Kapimatyanta chapalam.
Kapimatyanta chapalam. Kapimatyanta chapalam.
Drudham bhaktya badhva.
Drudam bhaktya badva. Drudam bhaktya badva.
Shiva bhavadadhinam kuru vibho.
Siva bhavadadinam kuru vibho. Siva bhavadadinam kuru vibho.
So it's a beautiful prayer and appeal to Lord Shiva, who is described as Vibhu, all controller. What people cannot control, that can be controlled by the Shiva or the God, because they are Sarva Swatantras and and Sarva Shakti Swarupans. Therefore, he says that my mind is a monkey. Hrudayam kapihi. Me hrudayam kapihi. My mind is a monkey, not simple monkey, atyanta chapalam. It is very, very much, it's very much fickle. It will not be under my control. It will not stay at one my place. I cannot focus and send my mind towards you because there are hundreds of mundane pleasures and diversions. Therefore, my mind is always fickle and it is a big monkey. And therefore, I request you, if not I am able to control my mind, you please control my mind. That is the kapi, badhva drudham bhaktya. You just tie it up with a strong rope and you take it away with you for the sake of your bhikshatana, because you are a bhikshu. You are always going for bhiksha. You don't have a kitchen. You go to people. That's why you know about Annapurna Devi. And moreover, his personality is never attractive. Kapalin, he has got the Rundamala, and again the Kapala Patra. Again, Kapala itself is also the not very attractive one. It's a Bhiksha Patra, and that Kapala taken as the skull, as the Bhiksha, because he is a Smashana Vasi. He lives in Smashana, and whatever bones that are available, comfortable, that he can use it for this purpose, he picks up a Kapala of the, and then goes for that. And again, moreover, I am such a person, sada mohatavyam charati mama hrudayam. So always my mind will be wandering in the forest. What is the forest metaphorically? Mohatavyam. It is moha, infatuation, extra love, extra attachment, sentimental feelings. All that is very much with my mind, and more so in the samsaric way. And moreover, not only my mind is wandering in the adavi or in the forest, but asha, I have got so many desires, wants, aspirations, and there are many. And in the shakhasu abhitaha atati. A monkey cannot be controlled. It is a swatantra kapi. So that swatantra kapi is said as a swairam. Swairam is swatantram. That too, there is speed in the mind. Beautiful. Jhatiti means speed. You can't catch the monkey quickly, very easily. It is not stable. So it is difficult to catch the monkey. So is so our mind. It is difficult to arrest the mind. empty the mind. It is like monkey, very quick, jatiti, and shakhasu atati. It will be keeping on moving branch to branch, tree to tree, and therefore he uses the word natati. The word natana is a constant work, something like the horse. The horse will never be stable. So it's a dancing. Even a dancer does not keep quiet on the stage. One or the other mudra she has to show forth and speak out language. So my mind, which is monkey, is swatantra. And the swatantra monkey, what does it do? Abhitaha jatiti natati. So the monkey, the mind, will be moving quickly on all branches of the tree, and natati means not stable. So there are so many terms which Shankara has used to describe the mind of bhaktas, or they want to be bhaktas. That one is that there's a monkey, and it's a swatantra monkey, and it will move about all places, and it is very speed in movement, and not one shakha it takes. You cannot go to one shakha. By the time you reach to catch it, it would have jumped off to other shakhas. Therefore, he uses the word natati asha. Asha natati. And who is this Lord Shiva here? What is the aspect? Kapalin Bhikshu. Oh Bhikshu, oh mendicant, oh beggar, you go for alms with your kapala as your begging bowl. In the begging bowl, you will go to house for sake of food. Then people may not come to you in order to give alms so quickly. But if you were to take my mind as monkey, and tied it and take it to the houses, you will get quickly your alms, and you will be really better. So thereby, that means to say that we make a prayer to Shiva that he should use kajal to make my mind stable and make my mind turn and journey always towards his smriti and the devotion towards him. Therefore, bhavadadhinam vibho kuru. That means I cannot do anything to my mind because I am in the samsara where there are a lot of attractions and factors of infatuation. I am not able to control myself. So, oh God, you are a Kapalin, you are a Bhikshu, you are a Vibho, but you are a Shiva. That means you are filled with a great amount of daya. And also what we cannot control, you can control. So bhaktya drudham badhva. So bhakti is a rope which you have got to give me, and that with that rope you have to tie down the monkey and take with you always. So when our mind is always with God, with Lord Shiva, then our problem is solved, because all gods, they all say that you give your mind, you devote yourself. That's what exactly called as a bhakti. Mai sanyasya, mai arpanam, mai. So we have got mai sabda coming. So here also Shankara tells that you please give me that kind of grace that I will be able to get out of this kind of mode of mohatavi and attractions and pleasures. And my aspirations are a type of natati, like a nata, like a dancer who will not be stable on the ground. So nata, kapi, these are the two comparisons or metaphorical expressions employed, meaning that chapalatva is a factor with them. So a nata on the stage is chapala. A monkey is chapala. And the mind is chapala. So much of chapalatvam or fickleness or vacillation nature is there. For that kind of vacillation or fickleness that the mind has got, bhakti is the only one rope which can bind it. Therefore, so moreover, he says kapalin bhikshu means we are always bhikshus only. We are only beggars. We are always requesting or begging for the grace of the God. Unless begging means you have no ahankara. You have given up your own personal ego, and you should simply be obliging and request for the grace of others whenever you want some food. So bhikshu is a word. And he is not, bhikshus are not rich people. Nobody is really rich in this world. People may feel proud, oh, I am rich, I am garva. So that garva is one which will bother all people upon the ground. Therefore, Shankara, in other words, in other stotra says, aharaharva garvam parityajyatam and atmana swatmana sthiyatam. He gives a beautiful advice in other places. He cannot ask you give up garvam immediately or very quickly. No. Aharaharva, day by day, the amount of garva or pride and ego that is there in us is too much. And that much amount quantity to reduce is not possible. Something like asking a smoker to stop immediately smoking. No, it will not possible because we are all used to that. Therefore, here, as Shankara tells that you have to cut down, reduce and make the desire vanish. But the asha is there, which is always bothering everybody to go about. And nobody knows the asha could be fulfilled or not, because the asha is in a forest, atavi. And though we know that it is a fearful forest where we don't have much knowledge, but we want to find out. Charati. Chara is again chaparatva. So not to stay at sthita is positive and opposite is chara. So charati means always moving on and all that. So here the communication is so beautiful that mind is the factor. Mind is factor which many people cannot control their mind. In that case, we have to ask for the interference of the Paramatma, Shiva, because he is a Pashupati. Pashus are all beasts, and the beasts work only on instinct, and they are guided by the instinct. But even though man is guided by institution, but that hardly honored. But instinct is also working. Therefore, in this is a lot of message given in that Shiva is being reduced into an almost ordinary beggar, holding a very cheap patra or vessel in his hand and going about house to house, place to place, asking for alms. And this is a fate of Lord Shiva. Therefore, he is called Kapalin, Bhikshu, and so Shiva, Mama Hrudayam Bhavadadhinam Kuru. I have failed to make my mind completely deposited in you. I cannot. I have failed. So in that case, you only should interfere and help me to take my mind under control and keep me a bhakta, remembering always your name, fame, and all that. So this is a very wonderful place, sloka, where you see the prarthana of the bhakta that he is unable to control, and if at all the Lord Shiva has to bless some such gnana, some such method through which he will be able to control the mind and are tied up that monkey mind and see that he bestows the mind upon the Ishvara. So Ishvara Anugraha is very much warranted and in this manner, and that's a beautiful sloka. Now we go to the second 21st one. Drutihi stambhadharam.
Drutihi stambhadharam. Drutihi stambhadharam.
Drudha guna nibaddham sagamanam.
Drudha guna nibaddham sagamanam. Drudha guna nibaddham sagamanam.
Vichitram padmadhyam.
Vichitram padmadhyam. Vichitram padmadhyam.
Pratidivasa sanmarga ghatitam.
Pratidivasa sanmarga ghatitam. Pratidivasa sanmarga ghatitam.
Smarare macchetaha.
Smarare macchetaha. Smarare macchetaha.
Sputapata kutim prapya visadam.
Sputapata kutim prapya visadam. Sputapata kutim prapya visadam.
Jaya swamim siktya saha.
Jayaswamin sektya saha. Jayaswamin sektya saha.
Shivaganaihi.
Sivaganaihi. Sivaganaihi.
Sevita vibho.
Sevita vibho. Sevita vibho.
So we are just asking Shiva. Here there are some more names, compliments or quality of Shiva has been given to us. In other words, in Shivananda Lahari, you have Shiva Namavali. How Shankara, though there are other Namavalis, but the Shiva Namavali in Shivananda Lahari is really significant and Gnana Pradam for us, at the same time Marga Darsaka. For example, here he has been addressed as Smarare. Smara is Manmatha, Ari is Anima. So Manmathasya Arihi Smararihi. And what we want is, we want Dhruti, we want the courage, we want the Dhairyam. So that Dhairyam he has to give us. And how that Stambhadharam Drudha Guna Nibaddham Sagamanam Vichitram Padmadhyam Pratidivasa Sanmarga Ghatitam Macchetaha Sputapata Kutim Prapya Vishadam. See, my mind is one tent. See, Sputapata Kuti means it is a kind of dwelling place. A white with white pata is the cloth. Sputapata Kuti is a white, it's a tent covered with the white cloth. You please get into my mind, Chetaha, or the Chetana Shakti, which is metaphorically referred by Shankara as a accommodative enclosure. That is what Sputapata Kutim. And how is that? Vishadam Prapya. It is quite wide and all that. You get into that my Cheta Kuti, and then, and moreover, it will not fall down. Dhruti Stambhadharam and Drudha Guna Nibaddham. It is being tied very well with guna, with ropes strongly, and then Pratidivasa Sanmarga Gatitam Prapya. So you please come to my my pure tent, you come along with your consort Parvati, also Shiva Ganaihi Sevitaha, being worshipped by all the Ganas. Oh, please come into my mind, my Chetaha. You know, Chetaha is the Chaitanya Shakti, the activizing power, because unless otherwise we will not be able to make our understanding quite clear and devotion perfect. Therefore, here is a Swamin Jaya. So you be victorious, controlling my mind, staying in my mind, Kutira, and along with your Shakti, along with your Parvati, wife, consort Parvati and Ganas, please come and stay on here. Smarare. So in this particular sloka, there is a kind of imagination that our mind, the Chetana Shakti in us, has got to be protected, and in our mind, Lord Shiva, together with his retinue and also his wife, must come and stay. Thereby, there will be the Sadbhavana or good idea, Sanma, will be filled in my mind. I will be completely pure and enjoy the Nirmala Chetas in me. So he talks about the Chetas. In the previous sloka, he talked about the Hrudaya, and he uses the word Chetaha, because these are all the endowments which are special in human beings given, and them. And moreover, how are these Pratidivasa Sanmarga Ghatitam Vichitram Padmadhyam and Drudhaguna Nibaddham Sagamana. These are all the compliments given for the Sputa Patakuti, which is metaphorically present, referring to the Chetaha. And his Chetaha is like Padma, lotus, whereat only the bees are being attracted to that, and which means that there is that scope that in my Hrudaya Padma, you please come and stay, and like that he makes a beautiful description about the Chetana Shakti, which is most important and which has got to be made very, very pure, made pure and free with the Sadbhavanas and with the pleasant feelings. And all those pleasant feelings are something like the bees that would get attracted to the Hrudaya Kamala or Chetana Kamala, which is present in this. Therefore, it is a description of the mind or Chitta, the seat for Gnana. What is Chitta? It's seat for Gnana. And Chetana is that which will make that Gnana to become activated. And so that is metaphorically referred to a small accommodation wherein Shiva should enter and enjoy without any fear. And therefore here he gives the complement Swamin. So Smarari, Swamin, Shiva, and Sektya, when Ganai Sevitaha, and all these compliments go to the description of Lord Shiva, and Jaya Swamin, the Jaya Shabda is there, because it is very hard to be happier at such a state of accommodation. Therefore, if he brings his Shakti also, Parvati also, and Pramataganas also into my heart, then there will be a scope for my Sattvika Buddhi or Sattvika Chitta, and with that I will be able to focus my complete devotion upon you. Rather, in future we observe Shankara is trying to become more and more poetical, because The Sivananda Lahari is a Laghu Kavya. In Sanskrit language or literature, we have two kinds of literary compositions. One is Mahakavya and another is a Laghu Kavya. So Mahakavyas, they are called, English people call it, translate it as a court poems, court poetry, or because it has got its own characteristics. And these Laghu Kavyas are said to be lyrics or short poems. So again, there is a difference of, there is a characteristic difference in these two things. But still, the poetic skill is being demonstrated here, and that's why it becomes a little difficult for ordinary understanding unless you pay more attention to this particular, the terminology employed in this. So there is a beautiful metaphor here and description of Shiva. And if Shiva alone is not able to stay in my gudaram or in my tent, because normally Sati Sameta living is always recommended for people, for grihasthas. They cannot live separately. So you make my mind completely pure by staying in my mind. That's what is the request here in this beautiful sloka. And next he comes to suggest that unless there is a Druda Bhakti and Sthira Bhakti in the mind, in the Chaitanya Swarupa of the persons, there is not going to be a good grace, the kind grace of Lord Shiva to attain. That's what we see. The next verse, again, he makes a request that make me not guilty. May you please show your kripa, make me stronger. Pralobhadyaihi
Pralobhadyaihi
Arthaharana Paratantro
Ardhaharana Paratantro
Dhanigruhe
Dhanigruhe
Praveshodyukta san
Pravesho Yukta Asan
Bhavati Bahudha Taskarapate
Bhamati Bahuda Taskarapate Bahuda Taskarapate
Imam Chetaha Chetaschoram Kathamiha Sahe
Yetachoram Katamihasa
Chetaschoram Kathamiha Sahe
Yetachoram Katamihasahe Yetachoram Shankara Vibho
Tavadhinam Krutva
Tavadinam Krutva
Magi Niraparadhe Kuru Krupam
Niraparade Kuru Krupam Mai Niraparade Kuru Krupam.
So aparadhas are there. Aparadha sahasrani kriyante aharnisham. We make a prayer to Lord that knowingly, unknowingly, we will be committing many, many mistakes. But all of them have got to be condoned, and you should give me blessing. And in this particular sloka, you see Shiva being addressed as Taskarapate. Taskaras are the thieves. That's why in Rudram you come across Taskaranam Pataye Namaha. And basically, either Krishna or Shiva or Rudra, they are described as the taskaras, as the thieves. In other words, donga. See, they will snatch away others' property, others' things, and make them feel unhappy. And therefore, Krishna is one who is also called Chora. So, Taskarapati is Lord Shiva, Krishna is Chora, and like that. So, what these people have got to do, I am going for taking away property or wealth from others, house to surreptitiously, in order to make the arthaharana, to steal the money, to steal the beautiful objects. So I am but pralobhat. Why do I go? Because of my pralobha. Pralobha is something that is very, very bad, which will make people even thieves and go astray from the normalcy, and therefore lobha is a guna. So pralobha is miserliness, and they want to acquire more and more money. Therefore, what is the object? Arthaharana paratantraha dhanigruhe praveshaha udjuktaha sanbhavati bahudha. So there will be the idea of taking away others' money, and we enter into dhanigruhas, rich people's houses, in order to acquire more and more money. So how do you get more money? You have to go and steal all these things. Therefore, but you are also the Lord of all taskaras. And who is taskara? Tat karoti iti taskaraha. Tat karoti. What is that tat? We do not know. If your things have been stolen, then you don't know what is stolen. And it will take a long time. You may or you may not. And to be able to find out such type of mysterious thieves, even Lord Shiva is a capable person. Therefore, here there is the expression bahudha bhavati dhanigruhe yuktaha san praveshaha. Why? Arthaharana paratantraha dhanigruhe. So I am a thief. You are also a thief. So make me not a thief. Show kripa upon me. Make me relieved of the aparadhas. And chetas choram kathamiha sahe Shankara Vibho. How can I tolerate the chetas choram, who snatches away my mind? So how can I tolerate them and give me that particular mind when I can get rid of this kind of habit? So the asha is there in us that is too much strong in our mind, because that's why it's called arthaharana. Somehow, in fact, yaya kaya cha vidhaya bhakvannam prapnuyat. Even in the Upanishad, in order to feed others, in order to enjoy the bhoga, bhagya, etc. in this world, people have got to acquire more and more money. And what the means is not important, but however it is, one should learn. So in this case, there is people go into the houses of rich people, and they will, with more desire, they will steal away all the property or things from them and get to aparadha then. So this is all the behavior of the mind. So the chitta or chetas is that, but who are you? You are the thief of the mind of the people. And when that mind is being stolen, or the mind, such a mind to acquire more and more things, pleasurable things to your house or to your own self, then you become realized and you will give up all bad habits and you will be put in the right path, that is the Guru, that is in the devotion towards the God. See, tavadhinam krut choram, mean chetaha tavadhinam krutva. Please make mind that kind of stealing quality of my mind, control that, and krupam kuru, show your karuna upon me, mai kuru krupam, and you please take away that kind of bad habits, that kind of deviations, that kind of fickleness, that kind of greed, or that kind of miserliness. Well, these are all the various factors which are very much present in human beings. For the sake of that, they will commit a lot of atrocities and sins, and they will snatch away the wealth of others. But in case of Shiva, he is called as Taskaranam Pataye Namaha. And there is one Anuvaka where Shiva has been described as the best thief. And why? Because whatever you love much, whatever extra in you, all that will be taken away by him, by which you will realize the reality and your mind will be under control and you will take to the path of devotion. So here in the first two lines, people try to entertain the idea of gathering more and more property, more and more things, and by entering into the others' houses and their property they take out. So that's all because of the pralobha guna, because of the problem of pralobhatva endowed in all human beings. For that, to satisfy the pralobha in respect of the arthaharana, then what people do, they go on spending whole their life to acquire more and more and more. But what I want you is that you cannot tolerate me completely being away, not remembering you, not making devotion towards you, and not making any service to you. But who are you, Shankara? You are a Vibhu. You are all controller. You are all provider. And therefore, O Vibhu Shankara. And who is the Shankara? Taskarapati and Shankara, you make a contrast. So, Taskarapati, Taskaras really help people to learn lessons and become wise. And when they become wise, when the people become wise, that means they will be careful further and they will stop certain things. So that's why Shankara, Taskarapati, a contrasting complements for the Shiva. Stenanam pataye namaha, Taskaranam pataye namaha, Vanchate varivanchate namaha. You understand? That is, these are all the compliments to Shiva, that even the Vanchakas are being cheated by other Vanchakas. So, though there is he is a super Vanchaka, super deceiver or betrayer. So like that means Paramatma will have to take away the bad habits of our mind, our chetas. Chetas and mind, the previous sloka, you have seen the mind control, which we could not do, that Shiva should make it and make the mind controlled and stay on. And again we have asked, he asked the Shiva to make the chetaha. Here also, once again, there is talk about the chetaha, and that is a chora, that is the thief. So, and tavadhinam krutva. So repeatedly the prayer is being done to Lord Shiva, saying that you may take the controls of my systems and see that I am safe, I become pure, and your Krupa is aparam, is immense. So Niraparadhe Kuru, please make me non-offender, make me pure, make me sin-free, so that I can progress in spirituality, I can please you and I can get the emancipation. So I read again, Pralobhat vai ratha arthaharanam paratantro dhanigruhe paratantra sutantra. So when you want money, when you want to grow richer, you will not have controls. When you have controls, when we have controls, then we are swatantras. But that control we lose. When we lose, it becomes a paratantra. And when we are paratantra, somebody to control and all that, then we do this kind of act, atrocity. Then ultimately the sadbhavana in us will be lost. So because you are a chief, you are the chairman of the all thieves put together, you must only interfere and see that my mind, my Chetana Shakti, my Chaitanya Shakti is somehow controlled. Not only you control, you have to induce Sanmarga or Shanti Marga for you, because you are a Sankara. Shamam karotiti dadati Sankaraha. That is, he will always endow peace in us. When does peace come into us? Only when that kind of paratantrata goes away from us and swatantrata comes into us. So, how can you make me independent like that? Only you can do. How you can do? The method that you can do is you should spread your krupa upon us. Therefore, I become a niraparadhi. So the 21st and 22 slokas, both of them are asking the Lord Shiva to take hold of the Chetas, which is a monkey, which is captivated very much with extra desire to acquire more and more, ultimately becoming not self-controlled, but not becoming dependent. Paratantra is dependence. Swatantra is independence. So all people are paratantras or independents. So that kind of dependence quality, that is nature for the thieves. They keep on taking away others' property, other things, and they make themselves rich, and the others lose and all that. So you, Sankara, must take hold of the Cheta. Even Krishna is also a Chora, Shankara is a Chora. That's why we have one beautiful sloka that we have got the three great epics, namely Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavata. It is said you have to study Mahabharatam in the mornings. It's a Juta Prasanga, materialistic life, Achyasa, Durasha and miserliness, etc. All that is indicated in Mahabharata. So Prataha Juta Prasangena and Madhyane Stri Prasangata. Stri is attractions, wealth and all that, and which will lure people very much and lose, because the Sita asked for the golden deer as her pet, which she can take to her palace and show to all her friends and all her sakhis. So when she asked, Rama knew that there cannot be a golden deer. So anytime there is going to be full stop in Ramayana, a woman interferes and becomes a Kama. So that is Stri Prasanga. And again, the Bhagavatam is called Chora Prasanga. In the night only, Bhagavatam has got to be read, which means that the gods are there to act like this and see that they will be inducing the resignation to pleasures and becoming swatantras, Atma Suddhi, Chetana Suddhi and all that. So these are all the two important things slokas where Shiva's interference requested and Shiva's kripa should flow, and Shiva is invited to stay not simply alone but with his consort Parvati and also all his Prabhutaganas, such that he need not go in search of them, and they are all present in the body, in the mind, and it will be easy for getting the emancipation. So today I will stop here, and next time we'll continue with that. So anyway, slowly Shankara is making us to have the awareness, awakening, and Gnana Bodha. Because the Gnana is the most important thing that will make people independent, that will make people rightful and catching up the righteous path. That's why slowly Shankara, with metaphors, comparisons or similes and other such alankaras, trying to describe the abstract things present in our body, in the human beings. Only human beings must have this kind of instructions. Animals don't require. They don't have any seminars or conferences or discourses to listen and all that, because we are endowed with such components in our body together with other things that these are the only gadgets or tools through which we can emancipate ourselves. So that's why Sivananda Lahari is very powerful. Om Tat Satu, please repeat.